Good day, everyone. Welcome to Technical, Vocational, and Livelihood Track Home Economics Strand. Hello, Grade 11. How are you today? This is Michelle Febrer, your teacher in bread and pastry production. Before we start, please get your answer sheet, pen, and your module in bread and pastry production NC2. Here are the most essential learning competencies for this lesson. 1. Prepare iced petit fours. 2. Prepare fresh petit four. 3. Prepare marzipan petit four. And prepare caramelized petit four. Everybody read the learning objectives. 1. Identify the characteristics of classical and contemporary petit four. 2. Prepare iced, fresh, marzipan, and caramelized petit four. And number 3, value the basic concept and underlying theories in preparing petit fours. Before we move on, let us have a pre-test. This will check your prior ideas about our lesson today. Take note that you will write only the letter of the correct answer in your answer sheet. Okay, let's start. For question number 1, it describes as a miniature bite-sized confections coated with icing. A. Fresh petit four. B. Iced petit four. C. Marzipan. Or D. Petit four. Okay, next. A petit four that is decorated and covered with fondant icing. A. Fresh petit four. B. Iced petit four. C. Marzipan. Or D. Petit four. Question number 3. It is a tiny fresh fruit tartlet or a tiny pie. A. Fresh petit four. B. Iced petit four. C. Marzipan. Or D. Petit four. Question number 4. These petit fours is made of paste or confectionery sugar, icing or filling made of meringue and gelatin. A. Fresh petit four. B. Iced petit four. C. Marzipan petit four. Or D. Petit four. Okay, next question. Question number 5. This petit four is made of almonds. A. Fresh petit four. B. Iced petit four. C. Marzipan petit four. Or D. Petit four. Question number 6. Also known as petit fours, which is usually unfilled cookies. These have a signature of dry, crisp texture when it is being baked at a lower temperature for longer periods of time. A. Caramelized petit four. B. Fresh petit four. C. Marzipan petit four, or D. Petit four. Question number 7. Which type of icing that is made of boiled sugar syrup that is agitated to crystallize into a mass of white crystal? A. Fondant icing. B. Boiled icing. C. Glaze. D. Caramel. Question number 8. Italian meringue used as cake icing. A. Fondant icing. B. Boiled icing. C. Glaze. D. Caramel. Next question. Number 9. Quantity of material that fills or is used to fill something or is used to coat or used to design the top of food. A. Filling. Coating. Topping. B. Foaming. C. Glaze. D. Caramel. And last, question number 10. An overlay or cover with a smooth and shiny coating or finish. A. Foaming. B. Glaze. C. Caramel. D. Boiled icing. Okay, that's it. Let us check your work. Here are the answers. For question number 1, it is letter D, 2, B. Number 3 is letter A, 4, letter C, 5, letter C, 6, letter A, 7, letter A, 8, letter B, 9, letter A, and number 10, letter B. Alright, let us recall the lesson that we had last time. Okay, in your answer sheet, in what's in section, please write your answers to these given questions. Number 1, what is the best way to store cakes? Okay. For question number 2, what are the techniques in plating and presenting cakes? Okay, let's proceed to the next activity. Okay, let us have a what's new activity. Okay, yan. So, in your answer sheet again, please write your idea about petit fours. What is petit fours? Okay, you can write as many as you can. You can write simple word, phrase, or a sentence about petit four. Okay, are you done? Let's move forward. Petit fours is a small biscuits and cakes which is tastefully decorated. Ayan. So that is the meaning of petit four. No, small biscuits and cakes which is tastefully decorated. It is also a bite-sized cake. So imagine a bite-sized cake and bread that is attractively decorated with a variety of flavors and stylized decorations. Okay, now let us have the discussion of our lesson today. The characteristics of petit four. Okay, it is small, delicate and attractive, bite size, or it measures 1 by 1 inch. Can be made from a large cake, then sliced into bite size, and then decorated with different design and ingredients for the toppings. Ayan. So there are different types of petit fours. There are iced petit fours, fresh petit fours, marzipan, and caramelized petit fours. Let us discuss first the iced petit fours. Okay. Iced petit fours. Okay. As you can see in the photos, it is small, bite-sized cakes coated with fondant icing. So meaning it is coated with fondant icing on top of the sliced cake, or pwede din siyang mag-add or i-enhance ng marzipan or any flavor. Ayan, to add more taste to a cake. Now, let us discuss the different types of petit four bases. We have the cake. Okay. Cake, it can be butter type or sponge type cake. So it can be used as petit four base, which is cut into desired shape. Ayan. So pwede nating ikat yan into any shape. Okay, according to your preference, you can cut them into heart, square, rectangular, oval, or even round shape. Another one is the shortbread. We can also use this as our petit four base. So it is mixture of flour, fat, and sugar. Then it is enriched with egg and has a short eating quality. Ayan. In other words, it is named as short because it contains high proportion of fat than flour. Ayan. Next is pastry. Ayan. Puff pastry can make a suitable base for petit fours when a sweet filling is used. Okay, So, pag sinabi natin puff pastry, it is flaky light. Flaky light pastry. Okay, we can also use this as a base for our petit fours. Then the last one is sponge. So, sponge cake. Yan, bake in thin sheets and layered together with filling, which acts as an adhesive to hold the sheets of sponge together. Okay. I will show you a video on how to assemble and cut iced petit four. And you can also watch this in YouTube. It is owned by Sue Aldo D or DIY or whatever. Okay.
Hello crafty fans, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a petit four. So basically it is just mini cakes and I'm going to be giving this to a cookie exchange. You can make these cakes for tea parties or any occasion really because they are just so cute and adorable and very easy to make. So first thing you want to do is you want to put like a parchment paper or anything under the baking rack because it's going to be messy. Now I'm going to slice the pound cake and I am doing about 1 inch thick. And I'm also going to trim off the crust, sides, bottom, and the top. And then I will cut it in half. I managed to get 12 pieces. And here I'm just making sure that it will fit in the cupcake liner. And now it's time to frost it. I microwave the frosting for 30 seconds first, and now I'm just mixing it really well, and I will pour it in a bowl, just half of it because I don't want the rest of the frosting to get crumbs all over it. I'm going to dip the cake in the frosting, making sure I cover the whole sides, and I will shake off any excess frosting, and you will do the same process to the rest of the cakes. I added some sprinkle on top and let it dry for about 30 minutes, and they are ready. How cute are these? If you want to, you can also drizzle some chocolate syrup on top. I think it will look really nice as well. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video and share it if you could. See you in my next video. Bye!
Okay, so that's it. So the video shows on how to cut or on how to assemble a petit four base. Okay, so now let us proceed with the different flavors and filling for iced petit four. Ano ba yung pwede natin gamitin mga flavor for our petit four? Yan, we can use jams. It is high in moisture and it is used to enhance the flavor, add moisture, and also to bind the product. So we have different types of jams like strawberry jam, coconut jam, pineapple jam, or mango jam, and so on. Okay, now aside from jams, we have ganache. Are you familiar with ganache? It is a mixture of chocolate and cream. It can also be a type of frosty. Pwede din natin siyang gamitin na frosty. And then we have the buttercream. It is made by creaming together fats like butter, margarine, or vegetable oil, any type of shortening and sugar to the desired consistency and lightness. This time, I will show you on how to make fondant icing. Since we can also use this fondant icing to coat our iced petit four. So you can watch this video in YouTube, and it is owned by Bigger Bolder Baking. Let's start.
Hi bowl bakers! When I buy fondant in a store, I never have enough to cover my cake. So I'm going to show you how you can make it yourself at home, and it is so much easier than you would think. In a heat-proof bowl, we're going to add in some water. Sprinkle over some unflavored gelatin and let it set. This stage is called blooming the gelatin. Once your gelatin has set like this, nice and firm, we're going to put it over a pot of simmering water. Heat the gelatin over the water until it melts, and then add in some glucose syrup or corn syrup, some glycerin, and some shortening, and then mix them all together until melted. Carefully remove your bowl from the heat and stir in your vanilla extract. And now we're going to set it aside to cool down. Once your liquid mix has cooled, we're going to pour it over our icing sugar in a nice big bowl. And then with a wooden spoon or a spatula and a lot of elbow grease, we're going to mix these all together. I don't have all of the icing sugar in here, but we're going to add it in bit by bit, depending on how stiff you want your fondant. So it's still pretty loose, so I'm going to add in some more sugar. And then just keep on stirring. Once your fondant really stiffens up and it's hard to incorporate the rest of the sugar, we're going to turn it out onto our table and knead the rest of it in. At this stage of kneading, you're probably adding in all of your reserved icing sugar, and then just keep on kneading until your fondant firms up and you get the nice stiff texture that you want. If you find that you've actually added too much sugar and your fondant is too stiff, you can always add in a tiny drop of water onto the counter and then knead that in. So my fondant is still a little bit soft, as you can see, so I'm going to keep on adding the rest of my icing sugar. So did you know you can actually make your own homemade sprinkles from fondant? It is so easy. You can make any color and shape you want, and I actually did it before in a previous video. The results are fantastic and they look so great on your desserts. There you go. After a few minutes of kneading, you have your own homemade fondant. Now this is ready to use, or you can store it for a few weeks. What I like to do is put a little bit of oil over the surface to keep it moist, and then wrap it nice and tight in a Ziploc bag. I also have a recipe for homemade marshmallow fondant along with my sprinkles and lots more bold baking basics. So make sure you check out those other recipes on my website.
Okay, now let's proceed to the next. Ayan. So, napakita ko na kung paano gumawa na ng homemade fondant icing na pwede natin gawin or ilagay for our petit four, iced petit four. Okay, so let us move on to the design and display iced petit four. So, petit fours are nice to be decorated and displayed, but be sure, yan, lagi natin tatandaan that this is attractive and appetizing, nicely presented, and appealing. Of course, appealing to the eyes of our customers. Okay, here are the different petit four design. And so you can find different design in Google. You can also watch presentation or video presentation in YouTube if you have time, so you can have an idea on how are you going to decorate a petit four or an iced petit four. Now let us move on to fresh petit fours. Okay, from the word fresh, so it is called petit four fresh or fresh and moist, filled with pastry cream and often topped with fresh fruits. Yan, fresh fruits miniature or a pastry that is filled with whipped cream or a sweet cream. Ayan, now. This type of petit fours is created with mini pastries, or tartlets. The most common types of mini pastries are fruit tarts and cream puffs. Ayun, pwede natin siyang gamitin as our base for fresh petit four. Cream puffs or puffs and eclairs are filled with buttercream or pastry cream, while the fruit tarts are made with custard and fresh fruits on top. Are you familiar with pili tart? So that is an example. Pwede natin gamitin as example ng fruit tarts. Ayan. So, yung cream puffs naman, so cream puff na may filling siya na buttercream or pastry cream. Pwede din kayo gumamit ng ganache or depende sa type nyong filling. Fresh petit fours are not typically glazed. Ayan. Be aware that fresh petit fours are not typically glazed, but some eclairs and cream puffs have a chocolate glaze placed on top to finish them off. Okay. Now, I will show you a video on how to make cream puff or eclair. Okay, you can also watch this on YouTube, owned by Banglar Ranagor. Okay, that's it. Take note lang, students ha, pag fresh petit-fours, they are usually served with tea or coffee. Kapag perishable naman yung mga ingredients na ginamit mo for your fresh petit-four, like cream, kailangan ipi-place mo siya sa refrigerator. Okay. Now, let us move on to another type of petit-four, which is the marzipan petit-four. Yan. So, marzipan petit-fours, they are sweetened mixture of ground almonds, liquid glucose, or egg whites, as well as the corn syrup or sugar syrup, and either icing sugar or castor sugar. It is also known as almond paste. Yung marzipan, tinatawag natin almond paste. It is multi-purpose paste. Petit-fours based on a marzipan are attractive and popular for their color and appearance, and it is toothsome in taste. Okay, so meron tayong different categories of marzipan. And it is categorized into 3. Group A, B, and C. So, dun sa Group A, ang ingredients na ginagamit is almond meal, blanch icing, sugar. Ayan, and the quantity, almond meal, 200 grams, and blanch icing sugar is 275 grams. Then, sa Group B, brandy almond extract, ang kanya ingredients, which measures 1 teaspoon and 1 drop. Then, sa Group C, sugar syrup, glucose, it must be warm. 100 ml plus 40 or 40 grams. That's it. Now, how are we going to make marzipan? So, it is very simple. No? So, first, you have to sift the icing sugar. Then, i-combine mo siya sa ingredients from Group A. Ano yung Group A natin? Meron tayong almond meal, saka blanch icing sugar. So, paghahaluin mo lang yun. Then, add the ingredients from Group B and then gradually add the warm glucose. So, diba sa una, combine natin yung icing sugar saka yung almond meal, blanch icing sugar, then saka mo na ilalagay yung brandy almond extract. Then, mag-add ka lang ng pakonti-konti ng warm glucose. Then, knead until it forms like dough, then wrap tightly. So, mapapansin nyo sa paggawa ng marzipan, yung mga ingredients sa Group A, B, and C is pinag-combine lang. Okay, so very simple ang paggawa ng marzipan. So, we have the modeled marzipan. Modeled, from the word modeled, ayan. The marzipan can be modeled into various fruits, or vegetables, animals, and flower shapes. Ayan, so, kung makipapansin nyo doon sa photos, so, meron dyan mga different shapes of flowers. Aside from flowers, pwede din kayo mag-create ng shape ng animals, ng fruits, depending on your creativity kung paano mo i-model, i-model itong marzipan. So, to store marzipan, we have to wrap it in a plastic cling wrap and place it in an airtight container. Ayan. So, this time, I am going to show you a video on how to make marzipan fruits. So you can watch this in the YouTube channel of Hila Talking. Okay.
Please listen carefully. Please.
Okay, so as you can see, making marzipan is quite interesting, isn't it? So napakadali lang, napakasimple, at interesting pang gawin. So now, let us move on to things to remember in storing and serving petit four. Ayan. So the environment plays an important role in the production and serving petit fours. If the item is easily affected by the moistness, place it in a container that should be held airtight, vacuum sealed if possible. Ayan. Now let us move on to the last type of petit four, which is the caramelized petit fours. So I'm sorry. Caramelized sugar can be used to coat petit fours before it is to be served. Ayan. Any product that is coated with caramel needs to be dried. If you used strawberry and grapes fruit, dip this in caramel. But think of it that the lifespan is only a couple of hours. Yan, Kapag dinip mo siya sa caramel, yung strawberry and grapefruits, ang lifespan lang nito ay magtatagal ng ilang oras. The product is best consumed within 30 to 40 minutes is best. Yan. Caramelized nuts and marzipan work better if the product is dry to carry the caramel better. Ayan, tandaan. Next, this is how to prepare caramelized petit four. Nandito yung steps on how we're going to prepare a caramelized petit four. Number 1, mise en place. Ayan, lagi niyong tatandaan, don't forget to do the mise en place. Put everything in place. On a tray, place the product to be caramelized. Then, if you use orange fruit, remove the string and pit of it. For nuts, it should be slightly roasted. Yeah, slightly roasted lang. If you used raw nuts, flavor will diminish. So, kaya, kung gagamit tayo ng nuts, i-roast muna natin, but slight lang. For an oiled surface, this will allow the caramel to cool and it will not bond to the surface. Caramel is a sugar that is cooked in a low flame with the temperature of 156 degrees Celsius until it changes its color and it turns into light brown color. Caramel that is cooked in 175 degrees Celsius is burnt. The taste is bitter and the color is too dark and it loses its sweetness. Ayan. Do you know how to make caramel? If not, I am going to show you a video from Southern Living on how to make.
Here is the best way to make homemade caramel. First, put your sugar in a large, clean saucepan. It needs to be clean to ensure the sugar crystals melt without crystallizing. If you want, you can add a little bit of water to evenly distribute the sugar crystals. And while you're at it, a little bit of lemon juice. The lemon juice will prevent crystallization. Heat the sugar on high heat and don't touch the pot until it begins to take color. For 3/4 of a cup of sugar, it will take about 8 minutes for color to appear at the edges. Gently swirl the pot to evenly distribute the color. And remember, when it starts to turn color, pay close attention, because everything from this point happens very quickly. You're looking for it to turn a dark amber color, or if you're using a candy thermometer, you want it to reach 348 degrees. If you don't have a candy thermometer, one of the best ways to tell if it's ready is to use your nose. When you can smell a sweet, slightly bitter smell, remove the sugar from the heat and immediately stir in your heavy cream with a long-handled wooden spoon. Don't use a metal spoon because it conducts heat and the sugar is extremely hot. And get ready because it'll bubble up like crazy. If you're using butter, stir it in until it's fully incorporated. And that's it. You've got smooth, rich, buttery homemade caramel. For more cooking tips from our test kitchen, check out Southern Living.
Okay, so very simple yan, ha? So, okay, let's move on. So let us have an activity based on the discussion that we had. Okay. So first, subject 4.4.1, it is multiple choice. Read the sentence carefully. On the box below or in your answer sheet or in the box below, choices are given for you to look for the answers to the given questions and write your answer on your answer sheet. Okay. So this is your choices, caramelized sugar, moisture content, dried fruit, roasted nuts, and couple of hours. So number 1, lifespan of fruit to be used in a caramel petit fours. Number 2, mixture of sugar and water used in petit four. What do you call a mixture of sugar and water used in petit four? Number 3, best nuts to be used in the caramelized petit four. Number 4, this can drips the caramel that falls off the product. Number 5, fruits to be used in a caramelized petit fours. Anong fruits pwede natin gamitin in a caramelized petit fours? Okay, let us check your answer. 1, couple of hours. 2, caramelized sugar. 3, roasted nuts. 4, moisture content. And 5, dried fruit. Okay, another one. Ayan. Let's move on in what I have learned section. Okay, get your answer sheet. Write at least 5 sentences on what you learned in today's lesson. Ayan, 5 pangungusap na naglalaman ng inyong natutunan sa ating aralin ngayong araw na ito. Okay. Okay, are you done? Let us proceed in what I can do section. So prepare petit fours of your choice. So as I said earlier, we have different types of petit four. We have iced petit four, we have fresh petit fours, marzipan, and caramelized petit four. You will choose only one type of petit four. You can choose from the 4 types of petit fours, and you're going to make a video demonstration of your performance. You have to record your activity, submit the video through Messenger, or you can upload it in our FB group. So you will be rated using the given rubric on the next slide. Ayan. So you can also find this rubric on in your module, page 33. Okay, so same group tayo. Kung saan group kayo nakabilang before, dun pa rin or mananatiling yun pa rin ang inyong grupo. Kung may mga queries kayo and katanungan, don't hesitate to call, text, or chat me. Ayan, so take note ha, 1 type of petit four lang. Pipili lang kayo doon sa 4 na nabanggit ko kanina. And then, you are going to make a video presentation of it. We will submit this on Monday, since Thursday ngayon, so you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, now let us proceed to assessment. So, read the statement and choose the correct letter that best describe the statement. Write it on your answer sheet. Letter lang ang isusulat. Number 1, petit four base that can be baked in a shallow trays, then topped with soft topping, then cut to shape of desired shape, similar to sponge sheets. A. Shortbread, B. Pastry, C. Cake, or D. Sponge. Petit four base that can be baked in shallow trays, then topped with soft topping, then cut to shape and to desired similar to sponge sheets. A. Shortbread, B. Pastry, C. Cake, or D. Sponge. Number 2, mixture of flour, fat, and sugar, enriched with egg and has a short eating quality. Yan. A. Shortbread, B. Pastry, C. Cake, D. Sponge. Mixture of flour, fat, and sugar, enriched with egg and has a short eating quality. A. Shortbread, pastry, cake, or sponge. Next question. Number 3. Puff pastry can make suitable base for petit fours when a sweet filling is used. A. Pastry, B. Sponge, C. Cake, D. Shortbread. Again, puff pastry can make suitable base for petit fours when a sweet filling is used. Number 4. Type of petit fours that is created with mini pastries. The most common type of pastries are fruit tarts, eclairs, or cream puffs. A. Caramelized petit fours, B. Fresh petit fours, C. Ganache, D. Iced petit fours. It is a type of petit fours that is created with mini pastries. Number 5. Petit fours that is made with sweetened mixture of ground almonds. A. Caramelized petit fours, B. Fresh petit fours, C. Marzipan, or D. Iced petit fours. Petit fours that is made with sweetened mixture of ground almonds. Okay, let us have the post-test of post-test B. Read the statement carefully. Tell whether the statement is correct or not. If the statement is correct, write letter T. And if the statement is wrong, write letter F. So please write your answer in your answer sheet. Question number 1. Petit fours based on a marzipan are attractive and popular for their color and appearance. 2. Fresh petit fours are typically number 1. Petit fours based on marzipan are attractive and popular for their color and appearance. Number 2. Fresh petit fours are typically glazed. Number 3. Some fresh petit fours are made with marzipan and look like truffles. Some fresh petit fours are made with marzipan and look like truffles. Number 4. Petit fours can be made only in one stage. Petit fours can be made only in one stage. Number 5. Jams, ganache cannot be used as filling of iced petit fours. Jams, ganache cannot be used as filling of iced petit fours. Number 6. Hot caramel can cause damage to your skin when it is touched. Hot caramel can cause damage to your skin when it is touched. Number 7. Fruit can be used for caramelized petit fours. Fruits can be used for caramelized petit four. 8. In making caramel, stir sugar vigorously. In making caramel, stir sugar vigorously. Number 9. Moisture content of the fruit can affect the caramel if fall off the product. Moisture content of the fruit can affect the caramel if fall off the product. And number 10, fruits to use in caramelized petit fours must be dried. Fruits to use in caramelized petit fours must be dried. Okay, let us check your answers. For post-test A, number 1 is letter C, number 2 is letter A, 3 is letter A, 4 letter B, and 5 letter C. For post-test B, 1 T, 2 letter T, 3 letter T, 4 letter F, 5 letter F, 6 letter T, 7 letter T, 8 letter F, 9 letter T, and 10 letter T. For your assignment, what are the materials to be used in presenting petit four products? What are the materials to be used in presenting petit four products? Alright? So that's all for today, class. I hope you enjoy watching this video. Bye.